fans, RC enthusiasts, and social media surfers. I am your boy Josh with Texoma RC, and this is a little bit of a weird voice, but this is me. I just wanted to say hi. Hi, guys.
What the heck is wrong with this guy, dude? Oh my gosh, that voice is something that I have done since I was a little kid, dude. I still can do it. I still got it. But it has its own personality. I've done that voice for so long. It has its own personality, own everything, dude. A lot of history in that voice. Anyways, sorry if it was annoying to you, dude. Gee freaking whiz. But today, we are on the freaking rocks out at Shawnee Creek at the Red, running the Rage Cage Slayer Elite. Or not Elite, sorry. That is a Rage Cage Slayer Pro Crevice SCX24 super long link setup with a short skid. So looking freaking good against he called it a stock swap, but let's look at this, dude. So we got stock ESC and a stock battery. I can't tell, maybe we'll say he's got maybe a stock motor and trail gears. So that's stock, but he's got mofo wheels, brass hubs, maybe brass wheel weights. He's got a lay-down servo mount with an NSDRC servo. So as far as stock, well, maybe like stock plus $150, $200.
There we go.
Jeez, no, I'm just kidding, dude. Freaking rad build, dude. Definitely a little bit light compared to most of his setups. Definitely less travel than most of his setups. I think he said this one was coming up at like 550, so pretty heavy, but at the same time, if you look for that Traxxas and the way that a Traxxas moves with their shocks and things, that looks a little bit light actually, but it does really freaking good. Those are up for sale on the Etsy store this week. Check them out, dude. Looking good, bro. So, man, I hope you guys had a great freaking weekend. This is just me and Craig. Buddies are busy this weekend, so it was just me and Craig. So we just hung out, went for a cruise. He's like, bring your K5. I was like, heck yeah, all right. So I actually put work in. I actually fixed the rear end. I've had it in like 4 videos. That means like a month long or longer that I've had it when the rear end was like basically halfway stripped out. So you put it in a bind, it would just not spin. So... but I got that fixed. I got out there, and he's like, guess what? I was like, what's that, dude? He's like, I forgot my blazer. You mother... And then I was like, well, I'm going to drive it for a minute anyways. Well, I forgot my radio. So this is the only other car I brought, dude. I worked super duper hard this weekend on the Elite cage. I made a change. I'm pretty sure I've only sent out one of them. If anybody got a cage already and you want to change it out, holler at me. We'll work it out. But yeah, I made a change on the Elite cage. We needed to be 1.5 millimeters wider. Well, we needed to be wider. I went 1.5 millimeters wider. It was okay with the 18P transmission. No problem at all. But going to the Traxxas, it started to be a bit of an issue. And then going to the SCX24 skid with the front mount brushless motor, it was definitely hitting and a problem. So I had to widen it out. Something that I wanted to do, but it wasn't going to be easy. And there was also a couple other little changes I wanted to do, but they weren't going to be easy. And I just didn't want to put the time in, so I tried to skip over them. And you know, again, they weren't like problems. They were just things that I see and like, oh, I'd like to do that differently, you know. And so, well, I started in on it on Friday night and put literally like 22 hours in from Friday night to Sunday at 5 o'clock. So from 12 o'clock Friday night till Sunday at 5, I put in over 20 hours, dude. Freaking crazy. I was so tired, but I got it done, dude. I feel like it was worth it. What happened was the iPad started getting overloaded and it just was bogging down hella. So that means like every time it has to think, it just takes forever. And then the file got corrupted, so like some of my seams would not, like, I could zip a seam up and I would get it fixed and then it would come loose somewhere else. And so like, oh my gosh, I'm like, I had to try everything that I could think of, dude. And I tried and I tried and I tried and I finally got it. I finally won. It was a pain in the ass. But we got there, dude. We freaking got there. So, but I didn't bring that out today. I wanted to rebuild it with a new cage. Well, this was really yesterday. I was just coming off of the printer while we were out. And so I got that refinished last night. Got it rebuilt. And we will be getting a video of that guy soon. That is an SCX24 axle with SCX24 skid, brushless, Nano Beast, Lizard Pro. Gonna be freaking rad. HR transmission, overdrive, badass. Let's go. Here we go, dude. So this was my first real stupid fall. If you could tell, we're pretty far away and just bad. Not good, dude. See what you got there, Craig. So we're still in a bad place. I just zoomed in. So he's still, ooh, he got pinched on that rear tire so he didn't fall over. Great job, buddy. All right, we're gonna fight with this thing for a minute here. In order to make it up, you have to get your rear end all the way to the right or more off to the left. So like way to the left. I did almost make it at the end, but I think I cut that off just because it was like 3 tries each and we didn't need to put all that crap in here, dude. A couple of the tries were way long enough, like this one. Oh, stay with it. Fix it. You got it. Uh-oh. Okay, he got it out of that time. Not yet. Oh. Now we're he just slammed down to stuck. Ain't moving nothing. So he's running the trail gears for sure. Definitely lacks torque. That's why you see him jumpy. It's one of those things like everybody wants speed and torque. So, that's definitely one of the issues with the Traxxas transmission is when you go to get enough torque, then you don't have enough speed. So, but the cool thing is with those, there are direct bolt-on brushless packages that you can go with that you don't even have to buy a motor mount or anything like that. It's freaking rad. Pretty cool, dude. If you are going to run brushless in the new Elite, by the way, I would recommend a seater just to make it a whole lot easier. There's like no space. Even though I have made space and it's going to work, it would be a whole lot easier if you had a seater. That's a FureTech seater. It's an in-runner, not an out-runner. And check out Matt from 2FMRC to get a cool little breakdown video of that. I know he seemed to really enjoy it. I haven't gotten one, but looks freaking rad. And the biggest reason, again, is just because you don't have that big can spinning around, hitting on wires, links, things like that. So it was hitting on the link just barely as it started to flex, which is why I had to widen it out. So, but we got it done, dude. We got it freaking hooked up. Craig's trying to go completely sideways. All right, so this is just a really hard one. Whenever you're like basically parallel to the rock, there's no way that from parallel to a rock that you can turn up onto a 90-degree wall, a 90-degree cliff. It's going to flip you over every freaking time. Because as soon as you start to pull up, then you're going to turn the opposite way and you're going to start to back up and that's going to flip you over. And that's going to flip you over, dog. Every time. So right here, I actually got out of sync in my recording. We had to come back and keep it going. Because you know me, dude, we had to keep a continuous run. We can't have like jumpiness, dude. Oh. So we'd already done this, and I was like, oh, we just threw the cars back up here, and I was like, this is going to make it weird. And right there, I had it. When I watched that slow motion, I had it. I don't know why. I just, like, ripped the trigger super hard for no reason, and with it turned right, basically up the hill, which you don't pull the trigger with the tires facing up the hill when you're going down. Like, that's just going to rip you sideways and flip you over. What the heck, dude? Bad driving. So you can see right there, he is running. Wait, no, that's the ESC. I was going to say stock motor, but that is the ESC. Sorry, dude. Sorry, my guy. Let's go, Mr. Traxxas, dude.
Of course, dude.
We're going to have to get the old skid, the TRX-4M skid that I made for the Slayers. We have to get that adapted possibly for the TRX-4M. I don't know if it'd be any better, maybe worse. I don't know. It does have a flat skid on the TRX-4M stock skid, but it does hang up pretty good. So, in comparison to other ones that do hang up bad, then I guess it is better. But you know, it's not a Slayer. It is not a Slayer. It's a TRX-4M. Dude, let's go. I saw this, dude. I thought it was gonna be freaking rad. The first time, I just got kind of like pinned when my rear tire went up. I couldn't do it. So here, I let the rear end kind of hang off, and it drug the rear end out around. So I'm in a little better position right there, where before the rear end was kicking me up way hard. So much better. Great job, dude. Freaking rad.
You got this shit, bro.
Let's go, Craig. You got this, bud. You can do it, dude.
Kind of got to see if you can get the rear to hook and like let go.
By the end here, Craig was getting definitely a little bit frustrated. It's
if it gets stuck up high,
really hard to, you know, do this super technical crawling with trail gears. So he definitely was getting frustrated by the end. And that's understandable, dude. It wouldn't do what he wanted to. It just won't flow. And then you have to add more gas, and then it's not where you want it to be because it went too far. And then, you know, or it's browning out or whatever, you know, it's just rough. Yo! And we're on wheels. Great job, dude. Way to freaking stay with it. Way to stay with it.
Ooh, that's a sweet looking climb right there.
Great job. Come on. Got to balance a V. But definitely get a little trigger happy, a little frustrated just because it's just not going, and then you're in a bad position, and then you just keep trying to force it. And I know I've been there, but you just got to calm down, take a breath, back up, restart. Here we go. Back to crawling. Rip till you flip, calm down, take a breath, do it all over. Let's go. So we didn't have a plan. We just were freaking cruising around, buddy style, hanging out. Follow the leader. Can you do this? What about this one? Can you do this one? So we're just trying to find a nice little path around the old, you know, rock garden. 10 scale guys were out the day before when we were playing. We got 2 days in a row. I didn't film the day before. We just got out and played. It was a long freaking day. Oh my gosh. I needed a break from the iPad.
Fixed it.
So, but I kicked his butt with the Elite, so. And today we just kicked his butt with the Rage. By the way, I don't know if I've sold any of the Rage cages. Maybe nobody likes them, dude, but the freaking Rage cage is rad. It's just, to me, it's like the ultimate, like, low. You know, we went from that, like, so, like, to me, the Slayer Pro, SCX24, especially with Rage cage, should be run lightweight, right? It's a lightweight rig. It should have a lightweight experience. It shouldn't be, like, super weighted out, right? Like, because there are things that a light rig will do that a heavy rig struggles with, and then vice versa. There are things that a heavy rig will do that a light rig will struggle with. And so it's nice to have the two different rigs to learn tricks all the way around, and then you end up with try to build towards a medium rig that can do all of that. And that's really where I always go. I start as light as I can stay, and I add till I can do all the stuff. And so that's where I'm at. And so, you know, this would be on the light side. I think that I think this rig is maybe like 370-ish, maybe something like that. And again, speaking of the red Slayer Pro with Rage cage, so I think we're right around 350 to 370, which is a great weight and super athletic. However, it's going to be more stable and easier to drive at 420 grams, balanced at around 62%, 63% to the front. So that's going to be what this thing will be. Probably most things. But it is just fun experience. The problem is when you start to go up heavier, we're going to start to notice that we need more volts on our BEC. For our servo, it's definitely not quite strong enough. And then we are going to start to see that the Endura Pro on 2S is going to begin to it's going to begin to not quite carry us the same way as it does at 350, 370, right? It's going to start to want to bog. It's going to want to start to run down a little bit. It's just noticeable, right? It's not quite so just fuck you.
Dude, but it's not.
Because the Enduro Pro, when it's down, on 2S Pro, like especially when you underdrive it, if your setup is clean and it's all butter, dude, that crap pushes so good.
Oh yeah, great job.
So freaking good. That's why I don't want to touch crevice. I just leave it alone, dude. This thing is so good the way that it is. And sure, yes, there are things I could do to it to make it, somewhat better. But at the same time, dude, we can't make everything an elite. So I'm going to keep this one just the way that it is. Keep running it for as long as I can. And it's just an awesome build. So we got to have something, mile markers along the way to show us how far we've come. Otherwise, it's just, everything is amazing. Well, again, this thing is amazing. But again, compared to what an elite is, this used my old style of, crawling. Which is just to keep it minimal and slam it down, right? By slamming it down, you don't have to have a lot of weight. You don't have to do a lot of things. You just run it low and get used to running a low belly. So you still have to have dropout. You still have to have these other things. But you just get used to running a belly and what you can do, can't do, and work around with it, compromise. All right, you can hear me in the background talking about. So what I'm struggling with on this obstacle is just something I've always struggled with the SCX24. You knew it was a problem, and then it really becomes obvious problem when when you go and drive something else, right? I really noticed it with the 18P that it will not. The SCX24 hates balancing corner to corner, right? I was trying to go up that. I had my front driver hooked on the rock. I had my rear passenger going up the rock. I had my front passenger up over the rock and should be pulling. Well, you've seen me do that with the Elite. You've seen me do that with Goldilocks and the other Slayer Pro builds on other axles, not SCX24 axles. I've been able to do those moves, especially with the 18P. Man, that was the first time it was just like, wow, that is so freaking cool. Something I wanted to do forever. And if you don't understand, it's like basically right here, right? Like in that position where you're on an angle going up and over, and instead of being able to continue on that diagonal, and then finally once your driver really crests, then you can begin to pull and then swing around. As soon as you crest the long side, as soon as you crest the far side, the rear end of this SCX24 wants to drop out, and it's perpendicular to whatever you were going up. Instead of being on the angle that you need to clear the belly, it wants to swing out and is now going perpendicular to that crest. So it's just freaking hard, man. Not much I could do. Hey, see, there was some folks out fishing. Family stopped by and watched us crawl a little cars. We couldn't hear understand what they're saying because they were Mexican speaking Spanish. So I don't know if they thought it were cool or what. Maybe you could interpret it for me. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. So just driving my car, enjoying myself with my buddy. SCX24 freaking cage, Slayer, Rage Cage, Pro, all these cool things, dude. Freaking A. So, as far, let me just throw this out there on the Elite. If you've looked at it, they should all come with the biggest bees, aka Texoma Rattlers. Why is that? Because I realized, dude, you can actually do more weight, you can do less weight, it's easier to balance, and you can get the weight because they come with it. You don't have to go track down Hobby Plus wheel weights or whatever. So if you want those these big-ish wheels, the first ones that I made, the ones that are on the red buggy right now, if you want those with your Elite, I will include them, but realize that you have to track down the Hobby Plus CR18P wheel weights that have been hard to find. So they should still come in the Builder's Edition, but as far as it goes right now, they are not available.
Oh my God.
I may look into trading that out for something like the TRX-4M stock wheel weights or something like that. They're similar size. if the 18P doesn't come back in stock. Also, because Endura does sell those wheel weights at a much better value than the Hobby Plus. So that's probably something that I will do, but at the same time, for now, what's just way easier is going to the Biggish Bees, that no extra money has to be spent, because again, it'll come with the BBs, and you could always add more BBs if you have them. I will include 100 grams, should be about enough to balance you out, but you could always add more. That would be about 30 grams a wheel in the front, 20 grams in the back, or you could do, again, add more. So the wheels, the Biggish Bees is what I'm talking about. The Rattlers, Texoma style Rattlers, will take at least 40 grams in the front. In the front, any wheel. You could just put it in the rear right if you wanted it, if that's what you wanted to do. So, but it will take, up to 40 grams, maybe even a little bit more, 42 grams of BBs if you wanted, which is up to 10 grams more than a standard wheel weight from Hobby Plus. So that's why, dude. That's why we're going to do that, just because it's just easier, simpler, something I can just give you, and it's just freaking ready to go. No other parts needed, and that's kind of like the whole goal. I do want to keep it simple. I want to keep it cheap. Just make it the easiest that you can to get out there and freaking slay, dude. So that's just the way it goes, dude. That is the way that it goes. I do love the way that the old Biggish wheels look. I think they look pretty freaking rad. Pretty cool indeed. I love the two depths. You have narrow and shallow. Same thing as all the wheels. The Biggish Bees also flip as well. However, like on the SCX24 axles, I know for sure you cannot run them backwards. You have to run them big side out.
Come on.
Or with like a 6mm hub, it will flip around inside and you can just make it heavier. So the reason for that is just because with a portal, it comes down and it literally rests like a millimeter, about a millimeter away from the portal. So that's all you get. That is all you get, dude. But it makes a freaking super wide, super batty. SCX24 axles are wide AF, if you didn't know, in comparison especially to like an SCX24, but they're even wider than the TRX-4M. Oh yeah, if you didn't know. Now you do, dude. Now you freaking do. I just missed my little up right here. Needed to be off to the left a little bit or to the right. Either way would have been good. Where I was, not good. Overall, it was a nice little climb and a nice little descent. Great job, dude. Kicking Craig's butt. Let's go, Truckster. But what you gonna do, dude? That's the one downside to the Traxxas. It is incredibly stable. It's a great rig, but it's just low, right? It doesn't have portals and it doesn't have the worm gears to clear the belly. So it's a no-brainer. So you're gonna have a dropout. So that's what the Elite was for. I did not want to build a TRX-4M Slayer Pro because it was just going to be like everything else. By the way, you could build that now. I'm pretty sure I need to build just a SOA riser. I need to make just a SOA riser so you could run it on the Elite, on the Pro. But you can definitely get the TRX-4M in the Elite now. And what would that do for you? It adds super duper belly clearance. We got way more flex. We got way more dropout. And I cannot wait for bodied versions. But if you're waiting on that, dude, you're going to be waiting for a while. You definitely could make the cage work for a body. But I will make a special new rail for bodied versions at some point in the future. Because we're going to keep making stuff, dude. We're going to keep making. And if you're waiting for me to like reach the end, well, dude, you're just going to keep waiting because I'm always going to keep making stuff. It's always going to continue to evolve. It's always going to continue to take everything that we know and try to make it better or try to compromise in a different way. So sometimes you can't make it better. You just make it different. It's just different. And so it's like better here, worse here, better here, worse there. And so it ends up being the same, but it has different features, right? It can do different tricks. So like the Elite loves ledges. It will walk over all these ledges without even I don't even think it touches the belly on that. just savage. So one thing that would help, I don't know, I haven't tried the huge wheels on crevice. That would probably give us definitely help and give us a belly clearance, but we're definitely gonna have to go up in weight to run those wheels. We'll definitely have to go maybe to some rattlers or something else, just because going up taller is going to make us less stable, and I cannot do that, dude. I can't do it. Just can't go less stable. There we go. Like I said, Craig's getting a little fired up, dude. It's just, this thing is just not going the way he wants it to. It's just the trail gears are getting to him. Let's go. We're coming up, dude. Last obstacle, last little climb. Here we go, dude. Let's see what you got. It was a great freaking battle today. Great day. By the way, dude, if you're new here and you're still here, freaking thanks a lot, dude. Thanks for hanging out. Hit the subscribe button, notification bell, like, hit a comment down there. That'd be rad. Join the Patreon. Thanks. Shout out to all the Patrons. You dudes are freaking rad. I sure appreciate you. And just thanks for buddies in general. And on top of all of that, thanks to Craig, my number one buddy, for coming out to play, dude. I sure do appreciate you, man. Thanks for building stuff and coming to play and hang out with me. I sure do appreciate you, man.
Well, bud.
And there you go. There you have it. Is the Truckster going to make it, dude? Are we going to finish on a good one or not? If you know what our saying is, you probably know what's coming. You probably do. You see his front passenger wheel. We are not hanging on. This is not looking good. This is not looking good. He's giving it his best. Everything he could think of to do. We just needed more backup right there. We needed more backup. Aim off to the left. You see his belly needs to be off about 1.5 inches to the left, and it probably would go up.
Let's go.
Rip till you freaking
Flip, dog.
flip.
What?
Nice
dude?
moves.